Rimuru, the New Beginning as Primordial Demon Violet by Veldanava God. Chapter 7. The divine encounter. A century had passed since John and Violet had ascended to the world of mortals, sowing chaos wherever they went. Their reign as demon lords was marked by devastation and destruction. Kingdoms fell, cities crumbled, and mortal leaders quaked in fear at the mere mention of their names. Their power was unmatched, their thirst for battle and torture insatiable. But, as time went on, their interest in mortal conflicts began to wane. For Violet, especially, the lack of true challenges left her feeling restless. It was during one of these quiet moments, as they sat atop the ruins of a once great city, that John heard a rumor. "Violet, have you heard?" John asked, leaning against a crumbling stone wall. Violet glanced over at her, disinterested. "Heard what? Another kingdom trying to summon us. That pathetic demon lord guy, thinking he can challenge us?" John shook her head, her eyes gleaming with intrigue. "No, something more interesting. The mortals are whispering about a god. Not just any god, someone called Veldanava. They say he's the creator of everything, the ultimate being." Violet's interest was piqued. "A god? A real god?" she repeated, her violet eyes narrowing thoughtfully. "You think this Veldanava is worth our time? I'm getting tired of these weaklings in the mortal realm." John smirked. "They say he lives on the highest peak of the world, in the heavenly palace atop God Mountain. No one who's gone there has ever returned." Violet stood up, her excitement palpable. "Well, that sounds like the kind of challenge we've been waiting for." She stretched her arms and cracked her knuckles, the gleam of anticipation in her eyes. "Let's go pay this so-called god a visit." Their journey to the peak of God Mountain was a grueling one, but not for lack of power. The climb was more a test of patience, as the demon lords grew irritated with the endless stairways and mystical wards designed to dissuade lesser beings. But for Violet and John, these obstacles were mere inconveniences. At long last, they stood before the heavenly palace, an ethereal structure floating at the peak of the mountain. Its towers of shimmering gold and silver glistened in the light of the eternal sun that hung in the sky above it. The air was thick with divine energy, so potent that it seemed to slow even the unstoppable demon queens. "So, this is it," Violet muttered, her voice laced with anticipation. "This is where the supposed god lives." John grinned, her golden eyes glowing with excitement. "I wonder if he's as powerful as they say." Without a moment of hesitation, they stormed into the palace, their auras flaring as they shattered the front gates with ease. The divine energy swirled around them as they entered the grand hall, the air growing thicker with every step. At the far end of the hall, seated on a radiant throne of pure light, was Veldanava. He was unlike anything they had expected. Tall, with a commanding presence that radiated calm and strength, his features were both serene and terrifying. His eyes glowed with a cosmic power, and his long black hair flowed like a river of starlight. Draped in robes that shimmered like the night sky, he exuded an aura of absolute authority. Even the chaotic energies of Violet and John seemed to be dulled in his presence. "So," Veldanava spoke softly, his voice echoing through the palace like a divine wind, "you are the two who have been causing such turmoil in my creation." Violet, ever the brash one, stepped forward, her eyes gleaming with mischief. "That's right, and now we're here to see if you're as powerful as they say, God." She spat the word out with disdain, her violet aura crackling around her. John, more measured, but no less eager, stood beside Violet. "We've come for a challenge, Veldanava. You're supposed to be the strongest being in existence. Let's see if you can handle us." Veldanava tilted his head slightly, a faint smile playing on his lips. "You wish to battle me? Is that your desire?" Violet grinned, her fangs gleaming. "That's right. We've crushed every opponent we've faced. You're the last one left. If you really are a god, prove it." Veldanava sighed softly, standing from his throne. His presence seemed to magnify as he rose, and for the first time, Violet and John felt a flicker of unease. The air around him shimmered with untold power, a power so vast and ancient it made the very foundations of the palace tremble. "Very well," he said calmly, "I will grant your request." The battle that followed was unlike anything Violet and John had ever experienced. They attacked Veldanava with everything they had, blasts of violet and golden energy that had reduced entire kingdoms to dust, waves of destructive power that warped reality itself. but Veldanava deflected each assault with effortless grace. Every swing, every spell, every ounce of their immense power was met with an almost dismissive flick of his hand. To him, their attacks were nothing more than a passing breeze. "Is this all you have?" Veldanava asked, his voice calm and unshaken as he floated above them, glowing with divine radiance. "I expected more from two who claim to be demon lords." Violet's frustration boiled over. "Shut up!" she screamed, launching herself at him with blinding speed, her fists glowing with the raw energy of her ultimate skill. But before she could land a blow, Veldanava appeared behind her in an instant, his hand gently placed on her back. "You are reckless," he said softly, and with a simple pulse of divine energy. Violet's body was obliterated into nothingness, her form dissolving in an instant. John, witnessing her partner's destruction, growled with fury. "You'll pay for that," she roared, her golden flames surging around her as she unleashed her full power. But Veldanava merely raised a hand, and with a flash of light, John's body disintegrated as well, her essence scattered like ash in the wind. In mere moments, the two demon lords who had terrorized the mortal world were gone, their bodies destroyed by the overwhelming power of the Creator. Back in the depths of the infernal realm, Violet and John reformed, their material bodies slowly knitting back together. The process was excruciating, their demonic essences struggling to recover from the divine annihilation they had just faced. Violet, once fully restored, let out a frustrated growl. "Damn it, that bastard. He wiped us out like we were nothing." John, still reeling from the battle, sat quietly for a moment before speaking. "He didn't even try. We were just playthings to him." Violet clenched her fists, her pride wounded but her resolve stronger than ever. "We'll get stronger. I don't care how long it takes. Next time, we'll crush him. No one humiliates me like that." John nodded, her golden eyes burning with a quiet fury. "Next time, we'll be ready." Despite their defeat, the two demon queens were far from broken. If anything, their encounter with Veldanava had only stoked the flames of their ambition. The world may have seen the last of them for now, but Violet and John were already plotting their return, and this time, not even a god would stand in their way. The echoes of their battle with the Creator himself would soon become legend, but for the two demon queens, it was just the beginning of a much grander plan.